Hello Paisanos, it's Enan63, and I'm going to be doing a different kind of video today where at the end of each month or the start of the first day of a new month, I do a recap of all the video games I played last month and what's my thoughts on each one and my ranking from, worst to best. Now, the reason I'm also including January into this is because I forgot to do my January 2026 video game ranking recap and stuff because I was busy making Enan63's January 2026 rewind and stuff, so yeah. But first, let's start off with January. Obviously, I finished Cyberpunk, Big Hops, Red Dead, but I only played 1 hour of it. Marvel vs. Capcom, but I did just 6 matches, and Captain Wayne. So these two are not going to be included. So these three, Captain Wayne, Big, and Cyber are going to be included. So from worst to best, Cyber's in last place because it's just very slow. And then from second place is obviously Big Hops. It's really fun. I absolutely enjoyed it and stuff. But the first place is just Captain Wayne, since I just preferred a little bit more, mainly because how you just feel like an absolute badass pirate god, just flying through the entire map and just going at full blastering speed. That's the same level of speed I felt when I played like Pizza Tower and stuff. And yeah, like Wayne's like kicking ability, like that simple movement alone is just so powerful and effective, honestly. And yeah, I was dying a lot, but it was a fun dying, and yeah. But yeah, overall, that was it. So now for February 2026, we have Crash Bandicoot Retro Dimension, God of War Sons of Sparta, Neo 3, Super Metroid, my own video game, Mario and the Golden Star, Simply Delicious, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening, Stardew Valley, Mario Tennis Fever, UFO 51, Nintendo Switch 1 version, and Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Oh yeah, I wanted to apologize if I mispronounced it, Requiem and said like require. I'm very sorry about that, guys. Again, I deeply apologize. But it's Resident Evil 9 Requiem, and yeah. Alright, so ranking from worst to best and stuff. So obviously in last place I'm probably gonna be putting, it's a bit difficult for me to say, but I might put, honestly, it's gonna be hard, but it might spark some controversy, but I might have to put God of War Sons of Sparta in last place. It's still a great game. I still loved it. But I can understand some of the feedback and critique it's gotten. Like, it doesn't have the brutal violence of the Greek or Norse games and stuff. But I still think it was a fun 2D Metroidvania. And it might have been hard to implement it and stuff because it's in a 2D game. And that kind of stuff is, like, much better, like, the blood and violence, like, for 3D games. Although there is Mortal Kombat and stuff, and it implemented blood and violence well. Maybe they could have done something like that. But it's still a great game, but it's just last in the place because while I do enjoy the pacing, it can have its few issues. And then next is Crash Bandicoot in the Retro Dimension. It was still a really great game. I still enjoyed it and stuff. But compared to the other two Super Mario ROM hacks on this list and stuff, it's sort of kind of a bit falls a little bit flat and stuff. The Crash Bandicoot concept was really fun and stuff, but I just think the other two hacks are just better, mainly because they're just a bit more like focused and stuff. I still enjoy the Retro Dimension. And after that, now the place I want to put next is Mario Tennis Fever. Now, the reason I put this above is because this was definitely a very good Mario sports game and stuff. It's not the best, it's 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 at best, but it's a massive step up from Aces. And it's been 8 whole freaking damn years since we got Aces. So I call that a bit of a win-win and stuff, and that's why I put it a bit more than Mario Tennis Fever. Sorry, Crash Bandicoot in the Retro Dimension. But yeah, it was a great game. I love the story mode, how it was 3 hours long, and it was fun. I won't be including, though, UFO 50 and, what other game? Oh, yeah, and Stardew Valley and Resident Evil 9, because, obviously, for those two games, like, I did it for just for its 10-year anniversary. And, of course, just only played just one game of UFO 50, so I don't think it counts and stuff. And as for Resident Evil 9, Requiem and stuff, I only just started playing it and stuff, and I'm just halfway through just how amazing it is. Won't spoil it, and yeah. But anyways, now for the next ranking after Sons of Sparta, Retro Dimension, Tennis Fever, the next game I'm gonna put on the list is Simply Delicious. It was a very fun hack. It was done by Six Scorby and stuff, and I definitely enjoyed it. But I definitely think Slurgy was a bit better since I think the stages had more depth into the gimmicks and stuff. And yeah, it was still great. I still loved it. I know it might be unfair, but I'm still gonna include it. Mario and the Golden Star. It was a hack I really put in a lot of effort in and stuff. And yeah, I know it's unfair bias and stuff. And yeah, and I deeply apologize. But the reason I put it a bit higher than those two is because I was really saving it and just, saving to prepare for Small Central's 20th anniversary and stuff. And yeah, in the end, it's just another random Super Mario ROM hack that is short, and it's perfectly fine, guys. If you don't want to give it like a 5 out of 5 stars on Super Mario Central, if you want to give it a 3 or 2, go ahead. I won't really mind and stuff. But for me, this was my own personal trophy I received. Since I didn't receive any official trophy or berry trophy, that's why I put this game like very high on the best Super Mario ROM hack I played this month, because it's my own video game I made. And it's also, I released this just in time for Super Mario Central's 20th anniversary. So this is my own personal trophy, so that's why I'm ranking high. Not from gameplay, but from, like, the lore and stuff. Like, yeah. Now that I'm finished with Mario and the Golden Star, I can now go back and working on my main Super Mario ROM hack video game project, Mario Mushroom Mix and 5. So, yeah. Alright, sorry for off topic. Yeah. And after that, I'm putting Super Metroid, an amazing video game that still holds up well. But the 2 other games are just a bit better and stuff. And finally, the second game is Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. Another amazing game in terms of its atmosphere. Great to see Dante's, prequel life and stuff. How he was when he was 19 and stuff, or 20, my age and stuff. And also opposing to Virgil, but Dante and Virgil having opposing ideologies, going through the same, losing their mother. Virgil embracing demon, Dante embracing human, and both have a fight over it. And yeah, it was really great. And the boss fights were fantastic, even if the second boss fight sucked. But the Virgil fights were awesome, the music was top tier, and the gameplay was just smooth. But there's just one other hack and slash that just is much better. Neo freaking 3. Holy hell, man. This game alone was just amazing. I loved it from start to finish. It was great. And honestly, I go that far. I know it's not Game of the Year anymore because now Resident Evil 9 Requiem has taken over and stuff. And yeah. Now, before I talk more about it, I didn't include Muganix or Demon Tides because I'm not done with those games yet. So they're going to be included in the March, video game finishing list and stuff ranking. But Neo 3 was just the best. The open world, I was scared at first, but the open world was well done, honestly. It still had that good old narrow and compact action field and stuff, having good pacing and stuff, and yeah. I definitely think Neo 3 was definitely a good innovative game, and definitely at least honors and respects the last 2 Neo games, so yeah. That's why I put on top. It was honestly the best game I played in February 2026, so yeah. But that's overall my ranking list of both January and February. Hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for my Enan63 February 2026 rewind video. This is Enan63 saying farewell, and I'm sorry for mispronouncing it as required when it's Requiem. My apology, guys. But this is Enan63 saying farewell.